Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link and my official Instagram, both listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Twins, I hope that you're doing well. If you're unsure of what a twin flame connection is, or you want to learn more about what a twin flame connection is, I have included a link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length explanation on the twin flame journey in the description box below. But in a nutshell, the twin flame connection involves two people who share the same energetic soul, the same soul frequency. If they are incarnated in the same lifetime, in this lifetime, and they meet, there's an intense connection and bond between the twins. But the connection, why did I say intention? The connection becomes very intense. The pressure rises on the twins, and often there's a separation period between twin flames so that they can encounter the higher aspects of themselves, have a spiritual awakening, and discover their spiritual gifts and raise the vibration of those around them, of humanity. That's the task of the twin flames. It's not an easy task by any stretch. I am a twin flame, and I do these readings to help twins everywhere navigate the journey. I was in separation from my twin for 7 years, no contact for 5, and we came into union last year. So I always want to be a support system for the twin flame community because there's so many beautiful readers on YouTube that they didn't even know it, but they were the support system for me during my separation period. So yeah, I don't know why I said the word intention. Of course, I'm thinking good intentions. Now Spirit is showing me the movie with Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon called Cruel Intentions. So there's a part of you that might be thinking that this whole journey, this whole relationship dynamic is cruel. And sometimes it feels that way. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I want to light the candles that I have here. I always light 2 candles whenever I read tarot at this desk to honor my twin flame connection and twins everywhere. I'm going to burn some Palo Santo just to clear the energy. I haven't burned Palo Santo in a long time, so it feels like this release. I'm also a water sign, so just want to clear the energy for the water signs, for twins. It's just like nice to have clean slate. It's a very robust smoke that's coming out right now. I didn't hold it over the flame for very long because Spirit's giving me the phrase smoke and mirrors. I think there's a lot of resentment happening right now between you and your twin, or how you're feeling about your twin. So I want to allow you to, in the space of this reading, try to, it's still going, try to release that resentment. Because if you do believe that you are a true twin flame, then you also can understand why resenting your twin would be like resenting yourself. Your twin is the ultimate mirror of you. It's not to say that they're the other half, it's to say that they're a reflection. They reflect back to you all the things that you need to work on in yourself. So anytime you feel resentful towards your twin, really explore that. Look at what it is that you are feeling doubt about or resentment within yourself. Try to imagine your twin just kind of sitting in the corner for a moment and you're just having to deal with you. What are all these triggers and traumas that are coming up at this time? I think that there are a lot for whoever I am reading for today. I'm going to use 2 decks for your reading. The first one for the overall energy will be from the What We've Forgotten Oracle deck. And I bought a brand new deck and I'm so excited to use it. You're the first sign I'm using this for, or the first group. And it's the Princess Bride Tarot deck. And if there were ever a more perfect representation of the twin flame journey on the big screen, it would be the Princess Bride. Because Buttercup, I hope you've all seen the Princess Bride. If you haven't, please do yourself a favor and watch it, because it's amazing. It's timeless. Buttercup and her beloved Wesley are absolutely twin flames. I'm going to pull an overall energy. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and their twin flame connection. 1 card, please, for the overall energy for the twins. Eternal life. What was I telling you? Number 63, which reduces to a 9, the Hermit card. So yeah, you're feeling kind of singular right now. You're feeling kind of isolated out, self-isolation, and you like it that way, Spirit just said, and they like it that way. And yet, to me, this represents you and your twin in the 5D, side by side, as always, mirrors of one another, representing the shadow and the light. It's so hard sometimes. I got together with a friend yesterday, and a friend that I hadn't seen in years, and just kind of downloading. We downloaded a lot, you know, when you haven't seen a friend in a really long time and you don't know the nitty-gritty of their life, and then you see them and then you're just kind of downloading like what's been happening the past however many years I haven't seen you. I did the same with him and explained to him the whole twin flame discovery that I had of the twin flame journey and my reuniting with my twin and all of what that meant. And it's really, really bizarre to try and explain it to someone who is not in the spiritual world per se, or who knows these concepts, doesn't know these concepts. It's a weird thing to try and explain. And so sometimes I don't. People don't understand. I just tell them my twin is like my soulmate, because that's an easier term to consume, to accept. Just like, oh yeah, he's my soulmate. He's my soulmate. He's my one and only, right? I leave out the parts of, you know, seeing him in the 5D, in the astral realm, in dream state, feeling his telepathic connection and him feeling mine, and how awful our separation period was, and how I just didn't know how I was going to make it day by day by day. It's hard to get into it with somebody that doesn't have the, not to say that my friend didn't have the capacity to sit and listen to it, because he absolutely did, bless him. But this is kind of sometimes a conversation that you may be having with yourself, like, how are you even explaining the twin flame journey to yourself? Because it's so outrageous. What do you mean there's this like one person on the planet that's my exact soul frequency and no one else shares it with that person? What do you mean? I'm seeing an image of Jennifer Lawrence on that show. What is it called? Hot Wings or whatever, where they eat those spicy chicken wings or whatever. And it's a meme that's been made. I guess she's eating the spicy wings and they're just getting spicier and spicier. And the host is like, you've got some more levels of spice to go. And she goes, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And she's just crying. She's saying it through her tears because she's in such pain because of eating these spicy wings. This is such a bizarre kind of aside. Maybe you were just watching that. Maybe you just saw that meme. Take it as it resonates. But I am feeling that sentiment. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm just supposed to accept this as a part of my reality now? That there's some person out there that shares the same energetic frequency as me. And I feel this uncanny pull towards them that goes to the very core of who I am, deep down into my bones, into my soul, into my DNA, into the most intimate and crazy parts of who I am. What are you trying to tell me that this person matches that precisely? And that everything that I'm feeling, they're probably feeling too. How do you explain that? I feel as though I'm talking, water signs are very empathic, very intuitive. I feel like I'm talking to some water signs that are more probably empirically based, more objectively based. I need some facts and figures here. This is what I'm feeling. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, and do it a little differently than I have in the past. First pile is the lessons that you've learned on this journey so far. Second pile, what spirit is teaching you now in the present moment. And then the third pile will be the message from your twin. This is for the water signs and their twin flame connection, please, Spirit. I am only taking uprights in this reading. Only taking upright cards in this reading. Not too many. Thank you, Spirit. This is the very first time I'm using this deck. It's a little stiff, but we'll get there. No major arcana as of yet. 6 cards on the table. So when I don't see any major arcana, it's fine. But what it tells me so far is that you're really focused. You remember how I just said, oh, I'm speaking to somebody who wants facts and figures, is more empirically based. The fact that I don't have any major arcana cards, the more spiritually potent cards that occur at the beginning of the tarot deck, the minor arcana cards, they talk about the nitty-gritty of everyday life. And that's what I see on the table right now. It doesn't mean I might pull some more cards later. Major arcana might flip out. It's perfectly fine. The lessons that you've learned so far, twins. Page of Goblets, which is the Page of Cups. It will definitely be a little bit more potent of a reading if you know the Princess Bride story, but we see here a young boy who is dreaming away. Okay, I heard a song in my head, very old, I think from the 80s or 90s, and it goes, dream on, dream away. It's an R&B song. Dream on, dream away. I think I'm gonna have to stay forever. I adore mi amor. It's a very cheesy R&B song, and I really, really want to sing it because it's very catchy, but those are the lines. I think I'm gonna have to stay forever. I adore mi amor. I adore my love. So it's almost like I'm speaking to somebody, and this is what I felt, right? Like somebody who might be towards the beginning of this discovery of the twin flame connection, trying to find out more information about what it's all about. Page of Goblets is pages in the tarot are people who want to get their feet wet. They want to explore something that's new to them. They don't have all the answers yet. They're looking for the answers. They're asking questions, but sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what questions to ask. And so right now, it's almost like the lesson that you've learned is to just be curious, to know that there's love there, but to also understand that there are going to be questions at this time. There are going to be things that you don't have the answer to, and that your twin might not necessarily be the answer, but they might trigger the question. What is love? What is it that I'm trying to fulfill in my life? Can I have self-love? Can self-love be enough? The twin flame journey would ask you to always privilege self-love over everything else, even your twin, especially your twin. If there's in the twin flame journey, there's the runner chaser dynamic. There's one person that knows that this person is their twin, and they pursue. And the twin flame is feeling this pursuit and is like, it's too much for me, and they run, right? So whatever side of the coin that you stand on, and it can flip, there's a part of you that understands that at the end of the day, I have to stop chasing. At the end of the day, I have to stop running, because I'm running away or chasing after something that's already within me. I'm running away from something that's already within me. I'm chasing after something that I already have. It's like the twins are on either side of this meeting point, and they both need to kind of come together at this meeting point. It's almost like a reverse fork in the road. They're coming down the two paths, and eventually they'll come to the meeting spot. So if we see this page of goblets, there's a ship here, a goblet, of course, a horse, and some kind of like mythical dragon creature. There's a moon, the moon suggesting mysteries and illusions, and it's almost like you've got all the elements of a story, but now you're just trying to piece it all together. It reminds me of when I went through my spiritual awakening and I started to see signs and synchronicities coming at a clip, coming at such a fast pace, I couldn't make heads or tails of anything. It was freaking me out. But there's a part of me that knew that somehow it's all going to fit into place. And I feel like maybe within astral realms or in your dream state, you're trying to make it make sense. Trying to take all the elements and piece together a story. Clarifying this card is the Eight of Wands, right? When I said things were coming in at a clip, that expression, it's just coming in so fast. The Eight of Wands talks about fast action and fast communication. In the story of the Princess Bride, Prince Humperdinck, the nemesis of the story, is kind of moving in, coming in fast on the heels. It's almost like if this is Princess Buttercup and this is Wesley, which is kind of crazy because Wesley wears black, and then her name is Buttercup, right? If this is them and they're kind of running to try and be happy, Prince Humperdinck is quickly on their trail, right? So what is this that you feel, because it's not a coincidence that I'm using this deck, and the Eight of Wands is represented by a foe in the story. So it's almost as if there's something chasing you. I don't know if you're seeing something in your dreams that's chasing you, but there's something, and it's interesting because my friend and I were talking yesterday, and I think I opened up his world a little bit to some things that he wasn't aware of. Anyway, in the space of that conversation, we were talking about dreaming and lucid dreaming and astral projection. He told me something we've never talked about before, that he used to be able to lucid dream. But the reason why he would be lucid dreaming is because something was always chasing him in his dreams. So is there something chasing you? And it could just be societal expectation. Maybe your family is expecting you to get married and have kids. And that's just kind of this pressure that's bearing down on you right now. It's not an actual, it's a concept that could be chasing you, a narrative. Time itself could be the thing that you feel like is running out. I'm so grateful, right, that I'm with my twin now. We're almost at our reunion, 1 year anniversary reunion, and I could not be more grateful. But in the midst of the 7 years that I wasn't with him, and the 5 years that I wasn't talking to him, no contact meant zero contact. No text messages, no communication, no social media, nothing. Those were the longest days in my entire life. Short and long. I kept busy. I focused on myself. But, I didn't know if I was going to see this person again. And I had to live with that every single day. I had to live with that. And knowing what I know. And it just felt like time was like running out. It's like, I'm just like, I don't want to waste away the precious life that I have fixated on this twin flame when I could just focus on me and do my thing. Right? So these are the lessons that you're learning right now. I think that you're identifying what that pressure is that you're feeling that's barreling down on you, and trying to recognize what it is that you've seen in visions and dreams, those communications that are coming in, recognizing that there is an element of love. It's the Page of Cups, Page of Goblets. There is an element of love. The Spirit is trying to show you that you already possess. And then putting that all together into something that is your life, something that represents who you are as a loving being in the world. Because the whole point of the twin flame connection is not actually union, although if you wish for union, I wish that for all of you. But that's not the point. The point is to have your spiritual awakening, recognize your gifts, and then use those gifts to help others, to help humanity in your corner of the world. And I always say that, like, being a twin flame it's just such a tall order. It's a big responsibility. Not everyone is a twin flame. In fact, most people aren't. And then you have twin flame like experts that I forget what her name is, like Rashida. I think she's from Australia or New Zealand. Pardon me. I don't know which country she's from. She says that the twin flames are part of the 144,000, right? That idea of like these weird chosen 144,000. I don't know the whole backstory of that, but that's her take on the twin flame connection. So if you think about, however many 8 billion people in the world, only 144,000 are twin flames. Are you kidding? This is what she believes. Take that as it resonates. The point is that, we're all special. But the twin flames they're in a different They're on a different rung of experience. What is Spirit trying to teach you now? Six of Wands. This character's name is Vincini. I think it's Vincini. He's a shyster. He's a charlatan. He's a strategist, and he's conniving, and he's tricky, and he tries to pit people against each other. Right? But it's interesting that he would show up with the Six of Wands card, because he's all about winning. And the Six of Wands card is about victory. So Spirit is telling you that with a little bit of ingenuity, a little bit of cunningness in how you approach things, you can kind of exist in a charmed life. That's what they're trying to say to me. I'm very fixated on the dagger that's in his belt right there. It's like a mini sword, right? So kind of a reference here, even though this is a Wands card, there's still a reference to not only the suit of swords, which is all about strategy and intelligence, but a scene in the movie where Vincini is trying to literally cut a rope. He does cut the rope. The rope that Wesley is hanging on. Wesley, the love interest, one of the twins of the story. So, you know, it's amazing. Spirit is giving me so much right now because, you know, I've watched this story, Princess Bride, since I was small. I've loved this film. And thinking about them as twins has only been a recent occurrence. Vincini cutting the rope that Wesley is climbing up to try and save his twin, right? It's very symbolic because it's about cord cutting. And what happens? Vincini cuts the cord and Wesley clings to the rock face. He doesn't know how he's going to climb to the top. He doesn't have a rope. He doesn't have anything. But he's still holding on. And Spirit is using that to remind me that you cannot cut the cord with your twin. You can cut the cord with anybody else. In fact, you should. I constantly cut cords with people. Doesn't mean you don't talk to them anymore. It just means that you sever the energy that they're siphoning off of you, whether conscious or unconscious, and you return their energy back to them. That's what cord cutting is all about. You cannot cut the cord with your twin. You can try. I tried. So many times did I try. You can't do it. They are you and you are them. And that is what Spirit is drawing my attention to. Thank you, Spirit. Don't see that as a failure, though. When we have this impulse to cut cords with our twins, it's because we're in our feelings. We're feeling some kind of way about it. We're feeling hurt. We're feeling lost. We're feeling frustrated at our twin. Why don't they understand me? Why aren't they talking to me? Why are they annoying me? Why don't they love me the way that I do? All of that. Why does it hurt so much? All of that. Spirit is teaching you or asking you, channel all of this energy into something productive. Don't go down the path, because now I'm seeing like addiction. Don't go down the path of bad habits. So while I was, and this is very personal, I'm just going to say it because I'm not ashamed of anything. While I was in separation from my twin, I was celibate, and I stopped drinking. And it wasn't because it wasn't even a conscious reaction to being in separation from my twin. It was more about a focus on me and focusing my energy on things that are productive. Harnessing, channeling that energy into creativity, right? So that's kind of what Spirit is asking you to do now. Take all of that energy and focus it on victory. Focus it on your goals, your aspirations, your intentions. There's the word that came up in the beginning during the introduction. I was like, intentions? What have your intentions been, and are you following through? There's a lot of transmutation energy happening here too, turning pain into power. I don't see the Temperance card on the table, but I feel it. This card is clarified by the Page of Wands, right? So the Page of Wands is, okay, it's very funny because they're all kind of sticks, right? So when I saw this stick, well, when you see this character in the movie, he's like a minor character, and he's just a yes man. He doesn't have his own autonomy, really. He has fake autonomy. He has fake power. So I saw the stick in his hand, and I imagined a little dog with a big stick. Precisely, a little dog with a big stick trying to get through a doorway, but they can't because they have a big stick and they can't maneuver, right? This is what I see in my mind. Maybe that resonates for you. But it's more about the idea that the dog is ambitious, and it doesn't matter if that stick is 10 times his size, he's going to carry it in his mouth, and he's going to walk down into the park with that stick. And nobody's going to stop him, and he doesn't care if anybody makes fun of him. He's going to carry that stick. So it's almost like trying something new, putting yourself out there. I see somebody, Spirit just said getting on your soapbox. That's tricky. That expression, like when we get up on our soapbox and we talk, you want to be really careful with your messaging and your voice right now. It's not to say you can't speak up. You certainly can, but whatever this is referring to, if it's at work, if it's in protest, if it's online, Spirit is just saying to be mindful of when you get up on your soapbox. It's a strange message to kind of slip in there, right? Because we're talking about you having victories, you trying new things, and then Spirit just kind of slipped that message in there. It's not to say that you can't speak up. It's just to say, be mindful with your words at this time. Be mindful with your words. I'm going to ask for clarifier on that. What did you mean by that, Spirit? Why do the water signs have to be mindful with their message? Here he is, finally. Ten of Swords. If this, right, this is Wesley, this is one of the twins. Ten of Swords is, it's basically being backed up against a wall, no way out, a feeling of no way out, not giving up. He's got that sword in his hand. He's not giving up. He'll fight all 10. But sometimes it feels like a losing battle. I just heard the expression, Don't kick somebody when they're down. I wouldn't imagine that you would do that, water signs. But there's something that might come in the heat of a moment if you are in contact with your twin. You might not be with them, but you might be sending unhealthy text messages back and forth. Because this card can also talk about communication, and one of my candles just went out. How do I say this? Like, try not to be mean to your twin. Even if you think they deserve it, because sometimes it feels like they do, right? They're so frustrating. But look at him. Like, this is right after the twins in this story have reunited after many years, and they've gone through the fire swamp. He's beaten and battered and exhausted, and he's still willing to fight for his twin against all odds. And this is what twin flame journey is always doing. Always doing it in the 5D. Always fighting for each other in the 5D. So don't kick a person while they're down. That's the warning here. We're ending the reading with a message from your twin. The Knight of Florins, the Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the Seven of Florins or the Seven of Pentacles. This scene kind of takes place in a not so nice chamber where Wesley is subjected to horrible things. And this is the person that perpetrates it, right? In this deck, it's a knight, and the knights are messengers. I think your twin is trying to communicate to you that they're suffering too. That's not usually, I'm reading it intuitively, that's not usually what the knight means. It's slow moving, they're slow moving. This is the slowest knight. They're suffering at this point. With what, I'm not sure. And I'm not asking you to feel sorry for them, but I am asking you to have empathy, that beautiful empathy that water signs are so known for. And yes, it's exhausting. As a water sign, I know. Because sometimes it's like, it would be nice if somebody gave us some empathy every once in a while, right? And again, since the beginning of this reading, I was picking up on some resentfulness. Please try your best to keep that in check, because it only bounces back to you. It's only going to hurt you. Your twin is trying to tell you. They're trying to devise a plan right now to make their way back, but they have to figure some stuff out first. The Seven of Florins or the Seven of Pentacles is looking at what they've built up so far for themselves and asking themselves, is this still worth it? Is this still productive? They're trying to figure out if they need to keep on the course that they are on or if they need to move on and do something else. This could be wrapped up in another responsibility, a business, some kind of venture that they're on, that they have to settle first. At the time that I first met my twin flame, it was bad timing. We met, it was the hottest and heaviest, but it was an awful time in my twin's life, and there was just no space. There was no space for anything else in that time. And this is something he and I have talked about a lot. And I was in not a great place either. You want your twin to figure their stuff out. You can't solve it all for them. They have to solve it for themselves. But they're trying to explain to you in these two cards that they're working on it. But they're going through it right now, and to please be patient with them. So that's your reading, twins. It's a tough dynamic, but it's almost like we're working the clay, right? We're working the clay, we're working the dough to get to the refinement process. Right now it's difficult, it's messy, it's tough, but keep working on it. Keep working on it by working on yourself. Understand that your twin is always by your side, always, always, always. I hope that this resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.